Hey guys, how's it going? Um, so today I'm going to do a video that's a little bit different than ones that I often do. I've done videos like this before. A lot of you guys really loved the video that I did recently that was titled I'm skinny, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, something like that. And then I've also done other videos like this, like the I'm messed up video and other videos that are just kind of more real, if you will. I think that it's very important to talk about things in our lives that are real, because so often, especially in the age that we live in where everything is filtered, it's very easy to not be real. As some of you may know, I just got back from Young Life summer camp, and that was one thing that we talked about a lot while we were there, was just the concept of being real, and finding other real people. You know what I mean? Finding people that aren't fake, finding people that are open and honest and are just genuinely good people. And I really feel like on YouTube we don't see that much. We don't see people investing in talking about serious things. And so today, if you guys like these kinds of videos, let me know, because I enjoy doing them. I really like talking and I like being honest. And I think that that's something that's really important in this day and age, is honesty. Because if you think about it, like, everybody wants their lives to look good from the outside. Everybody wants their lives to look proper and fashionable and all of these things. And that's why there's filters, and that's why there's different things like that. And that's why you can retake a photo 1,000 times before you post it on Instagram, which is okay, and I do it too. But just saying, like, it's very easy for people to be fake. So today I want to talk about envy, or comparison. Theodore Roosevelt said that comparison is the thief of all joy. And I think that it's such a huge thing that we have to deal with nowadays, is comparison, especially with how public people's success is, and with how public everything that everybody does is. And so again, back to that whole thing of social media and Instagram and Snapchat and posting videos and pictures that aren't necessarily real, it all goes back to the thing of comparison. Like, it's so easy to look at somebody's Instagram and say, dang it, man, it looks like they have it all together. I wish that I had what they had. For me as a YouTuber, it's very easy to look at bigger YouTubers who are growing at a ridiculous rate and say, man, I wish that I had what they had. Like, when I first started off YouTube, it was just a hobby. It was just something fun that I did. Before I did YouTube, I was a graphic designer. And I wasn't making much money at all. Like, I had a very tight budget. I was eating ramen noodles and mac and cheese and bagel bites, not because I wanted to, but because it was cheap and I had to. I was not very successful, and I grew to be thankful for what I had. My identity wasn't in my money. My identity wasn't in my job. My identity wasn't in what people thought of me. And so now, as a YouTuber, being a little bit more financially stable, because of the fact that I came from a place where I didn't have that much, I'm able to invest. I'm able to be smart with my money. I'm able to be grateful and thankful. I'm able to not just buy 1,000 cars and houses and all this ridiculous stuff, because that's not where my identity lies. But like I was saying earlier, it's very easy as a YouTuber to compare yourself to others. I could look at somebody like Logan Paul, who has gotten 2 million subscribers in like a month, which is almost as many subscribers as I have as an entirety. So for me, it would be very easy to compare myself and say, what am I doing wrong? Like, what's wrong with me that I don't get 2 million subscribers a month? Or what's wrong with me that I'm not making X amount of money? But I would challenge you guys to try and work on comparison and get to the point where you set your own goals, realistic goals, and you strive for those. And when you reach them, then you can set new goals. Like, when I first started out with YouTube, it was like, okay, sweet, I've got 1,000 subscribers, let's try and get 10. And then you get 10,000 and it's like, I want 100,000. then 500,000, then 1,000,000, then 2,000,000, then 10,000,000. It's very easy to progress like that. But the biggest thing, guys, I would say is to not allow your identity to be in the things that you have, or the number of followers that you have, or your popularity, or anything like that. Because as soon as that goes away, which it will one day, then your identity is kind of lost. You know what I mean? Then you don't know who you are. Like for me, I was gonna go and play baseball in college. I was a pitcher. I was gonna go play. Many of you know the story of my arm. If you don't, watch the video entitled The Day I Almost Died, and that'll explain what happened to my arm. But I got hurt and I wasn't able to pitch. And if my identity was in baseball, if my identity was in pitching, then I don't know what I would have done. But thankfully, as many of you guys know, I'm a Christian, so I believe in Jesus Christ and I believe in his resurrection and everything. Thankfully, my identity is in that. My identity is in my faith, which I would never push on any of you guys. I would never try and forcefully make you believe what I believe. My whole goal is just to love people well. And I hope that people of all religions, all races, all everything feel welcome on my channel. So I just say that to let y'all know that my identity isn't in the things that I have or in my accomplishments. It's in who Jesus has made me. The whole point that I want you guys to take away from this is to try and get a mindset of being thankful and grateful with where you're at. There's a guy in the Bible named Paul, and he talks about how he's had much and he's had little, so he's fine with either. And that's kind of my story right now as well, where I came from right out of college, not having that much money and having to budget and having very little, but being okay and being thankful and responsible with what I had. Now that I have more than I had before, I'm able to invest. I'm able to not be wasteful with my money. I'm able to realize, okay, this could go away. YouTube could go away one day. And if I'm irresponsible and I just buy Lamborghinis and GTRs and all of this stuff, like, what's gonna happen when YouTube goes away? I'm just gonna have a couple of cars that I can't even live in. So the biggest thing, guys, I would say is just to kind of set your goals and strive for those not based on anybody else. So let's look at it this way. Say you play baseball. Say you're on the sports team and you get cut, okay? You need to be at a place where you don't compare yourself to the pitcher who's better, because while he may be a better pitcher than you, he might not be as good relationally as you. While he is a better pitcher than you, he might not love people well. Everybody has their ups and downs, their positives and negatives. Like me, I think that I'm a nice guy. I think that I can invest in people and really love people well. That's a trait of mine that I think is important, that I love people well. But at the same time, I can be very short-tempered, and I can get angry, and I can be impatient, which other people might not deal with. So there's that baseball comparison, guys, and then there's also, let's say that you are working really, really hard. This was my case. I was not smart in high school. I was a BC student and failed a couple of classes. I just wasn't smart, and it wasn't because I wasn't applying myself. The reason, I think, was just because I wasn't book smart, you know? Like, I was studying, I was putting in work, and then you see all these other people who don't even have to study and they get A's just because they remember stuff and just because they're smart. So for me, if my identity was in my grades or how smart I was, then I would have been a failure a long time ago. But thankfully, I didn't let that define me, and I found a way around it, and now I'm successful at YouTube. So I would just encourage you guys, when it comes to comparison, understand that it really is the thief of all joy, because once you do get something, you're always gonna want more. Once you do get what that other person had, they're gonna have more than they had before, and then you're gonna just continue that vicious cycle of wanting and wanting and wanting more instead of being grateful with what you have. And then when you get more, being grateful for it and not having it define you. I love you guys so much, and I don't take this responsibility lightly of YouTube. I understand that it's like, there's a lot of people that watch my videos, and I have a big responsibility in how I talk to you guys and how I invest in y'all. So I'm gonna read something for y'all real quick. If you've ever seen my arm, I have flowers and a bird on it. I might do a video on my tattoos eventually. But I have flowers and a bird on it, and one thing you guys may not know about me is that I struggled with anxiety really, really badly. I was a very anxious person. I had panic attacks and anxiety attacks, and it just wasn't good. And so I got this verse, or a picture of this verse tattooed on my arm. It says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they?" So what I get from that, guys, is just knowing that, like, and sometimes this may seem a little bit hard to believe, but everything's gonna be okay. A lot of life is just in your mindset and how you approach it and where your faith is. And for me, believing in Jesus and trusting in that, like, my faith isn't that. My faith isn't in my clothes or my car or my house, or the food that I eat or the fancy restaurants that I go to or anything like that. You know, you see birds and you see animals who are provided for. They go around in nature and they're good to go. Maybe they're just eating worms out of the ground, but at any rate, they're provided for. So the reason that I got that verse tattooed on me is just a reminder of the fact that my life isn't about the next thing that I can have. And so I would challenge you guys with your money, whether you're old or you're young, to be smart with it and to invest and to think about your future. And when it comes to things, not to find your identity in your new pair of Yeezys, or not to find your identity in your iPhone 7 or in the car that you got or that your parents got you. I think it's really important that we don't find our identity in the things that we have. I love you guys. I love making these videos. Let me know if you want me to talk about anything else. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.